Hello, everybody. Happy second or third week of December. To be real, I can't remember. Third week of December. And the Christmas season is in full effect, so hopefully you got your cocoa. Hopefully you've seen the Polar Express at least one time thus far this season. And let's go ahead and dive right into some My Hero chapter 294 because it just keeps going on. It just keeps going. The My Hero train is literally the Polar Express right now. We're on our way to the North Pole, and every minute we get more excited to eventually get into the North Pole. Because I don't quite think we've hit the climax of this chapter yet, but you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. This chapter is titled the last stage. So it sounds like we're reaching probably the end of this battle, and I mean I can kind of feel it. If you've been paying attention to the battle, you can kind of feel that people are kind of fucked at this point. Everyone's kind of injured. So many people have put in all their effort, and the heroes and villains are both. This battle feels like a chess game where a lot of the pieces have fallen, and you have probably the most important pieces: the kings, the kings, the rooks, maybe a few, maybe a queen in there. They're still standing. So we will see what happens here as we dive into the chapter. Starting off, we get a quick recap of all of the heroes that I've sacrificed in this battle thus far, as the Genus, the best Genus, is giving a, what's it called, like an inner monologue. We see Crust, who was unfortunately decayed when Shigaraki awoke. We see Aizawa, who is being carried out by a stretcher. He doesn't look conscious. We see Mirko is in real rough shape. She looks bloody, and she's got an oxygen mask on her, but it looks like she'll live at least. We see the Water Hero and Rocklock, who aren't injured at all, so good for them. They made it out alive. We see Gran Torino, who I think is alive. We see Ryuku being carried out. We see President Mike, who doesn't look too injured, but to be real, I don't remember where he is. We see Hawks is having a rough time, bro. Hawks is burning up. We see Mount Lady, who is passed out on the ground. We see Midnight, who is passed out in the forest. We see Endeavor, who is currently on the ground. He's passed out, confirmed by Dabi. And then we have Deku, who is literally using his mouth to fight. Nothing else. He can't even move his fucking limbs, dude. And then we see Genist, who says, had even one strand been flimsy, then this wouldn't have been possible. I have faith. And he is tired, bro. He looks like he is struggling. We then get a shot of Nomu charging out across the battlefield as Makia is passing out. And Genus says, just a bit more. So now with Makia fully passed out, Genus can focus his efforts on the Nomu and the League of Villains that were atop Makia. And then we get a flash of Todoroki, who meanwhile Dabi and Shoto are engaged in a huge fight here. It doesn't look like it's going to end anytime soon. So we then end up flashing over to the Nomu fight as Mirio, who is probably the most rested person here along with Todoroki, at least before the Dabi fight, is fighting the Nomu. And he says that these Nomu were just as strong as the Nomu from Kyoshu. So that's not looking good here. But we then see that there are still people alive and well on the battlefield, right? Because we didn't see Ida talking. We didn't see Bakugo is currently fighting back. And then we see Nejire basically saying that the goal for them three, as well as Mirio, Ida, Bakugo, and Nejire are saying, just make sure we get in the villain's way to Genist. And then Genist then says, my focus had been to subdue the giant, but now I can directly focus my attention on the League. Now, the interesting thing here, I guess it's not like a big deal, but Nejire and Mirio appear on the battlefield. But where's what happened to Tamaki, bro? Was he could have totally been in this fight, dude. I think he was on the Mansion team, but it would have been really cool if he had appeared in this fight too, because I'm a big fan of my boy Octopus Fingers. Or is it they're octopus, or is it squid? I don't remember. He would have been so goddamn OP in this fight, to be real, but you know what? That's fine. I'm sure he has a part to play in this arc. I don't think Horikoshi is going to forget about him. We then pan to the main man of the chapter, Mr. Compress. I'll go ahead and give you a nice little shot of his face here because you'll be getting a better shot of his face later. Wink, wink. Then, we then see that Genist restrains the remaining League of Villains members with his tendrils, or restraints, and Compress says the only thing he can do is grab his own butt because the restraints are so tight. Basically, he says that Shigaraki is a limp noodle, so Shiggy's out. And Compress kind of starts panicking a bit because he understands that this might be the end. He says that, you know, Dabi, Toga, and not even I have achieved our dreams yet. As you see, Toga is currently running through the city crying as she was she's running away from Uraka. Dabi is fighting Shoto, and now Compress is tied up with Spinner and Shigaraki in Genist's fucking, I don't know, tendrils, but he talks to Spinner. He's like, is this the end? And Spinner basically gives him basically the key, right? He says the boss is the key. On the count of 5, wake the boss. So this is basically their strat. And this, I do agree with Spinner here. If Shigaraki wakes up and he is still able to continue moving, then this is going to be a huge, another huge tide to turn in the battle. Because to be real, Shigaraki is just fucking dumb. He's just fucking dumb, dude. Like, he's so fucking OP at this point. It's not even fair. So Compress does what Compress does best, and he touches his ass with his hand. Basically what that means is he compresses a part of his own fucking body in order to give his arm room to move. And then he ends up using Compress on Shiggy and Spinner, puts them into little balls, grabs them, and then uses his cybernetic arm to slash out of the tendrils of Genist. And this is where we get the inner monologue of I forgot Mr. Compress, bro. I can't believe I just randomly forgot his name there. And the cool thing is, he says, looks like it's my turn for a badass moment. Let's make this my greatest escape. It's just so fucking dumb how it's like Compress is like, all right, everyone's had a badass moment. Step aside. It's time for my badass moment. You know, it's like Horikoshi is self-aware. He's just piling character moments upon character moments at this point. And all of this action kind of means something for the character moments. We're not just watching a Lord of the Rings fight where, you know, said orc is beating the shit out of said dude. A lot of this action has significant meaning to the characters and what they've gone through thus far. So it's just character moments upon character moments, like I said before. Genist then proceeds to say that the injury is fatal and he can't run for long. So Compress is definitely hurting right now, but he is trying to make his escape. We then see that the Liberation Army member, the hacker guy, says, if you're fleeing, then save me too. And we then see with the tendrils hit Compress, and they snap his hood/mask off of his face. And bear with me here because we're going to get a humongous inner monologue from Compress where he says, Oji Harima, the fearless thief, a burglar from a long time ago. At the dawn of the current system we know now, he targeted the greedy heroes who filled their bellies and redistributed their wealth to the people for rectification. So, Oji Harima is basically the Robin Hood of the My Hero universe. He was a very famous villain. He did appear in the anime very briefly, and we will get the reveal for Compress later. He then says, Atsushiro, this is our lineage, to shine a light on corruption, that is the justice and the blood that flows through you. We then get a flashback to the flash fire fist that Todoroki and Dabi are currently shooting at each other. And they basically hit each other with a huge clash. And Shoto looks a little bit shook here. He's falling out of the sky, and then Dabi says there's no point in breaking Endeavor's puppet when he's passed out. And then Compress says, come, Dabi, it's time to leave. Then we flash back to Compress as he says, Harima, the rectification that you couldn't bring to fruition will be left in the hands of my boss now. I am the elusive Harima's great-grandson, the man with the blood of the king of thieves, You thought that I was just another background character, that I was just another one of my tricks. And the secret behind it is, well, I guess that I could say, well, I guess that I can say a secret. Because a magician never reveals his tricks. As we see, Compress he basically loses his clothes. He basically throws his shirt off, right? And he says, "Escape artist Mr. Compress, once in a lifetime show." As his hood comes off as well, as he grabs, he doesn't grab, but he Spinner and Shigaraki come out of their compress balls, as we see Mirio is standing right in front of Shigaraki, Spinner, and Compress, as they no longer can be controlled by their clothes, at least Compress can't. And we then get the face reveal of Compress. So there was a big amount of reveals in this chapter, as that is where the chapter ends. Compress was revealed to be the great-grandson of the legendary thief, Oji Harima. He also revealed himself to be extremely, extremely attractive, as well as he is... oh god. I guess we did get his face reveal, but sure, dude. I didn't really care what he looked like, to be real. He does look pretty sick, though. And it looks like either A, Dabi and the League of Villains are going to retreat as Makia is subdued, or Shigaraki is going to be awoken, and the ass beating is going to commence. Because Deku is in no way, shape, or form capable of taking on Shigaraki at the moment, but it all depends on how operational Shiggy is when he wakes up. So that is where the chapter is going to end here. Compress made an escape from Genist. Makia is officially passed out, but Endeavor is also passed out as well. So it is Genist, Mirio, Ida, Todoroki, Bakugo, a very, very rough Bakugo, and Nejire who are on the battlefield, going up against Compress, Spinner, Dabi, and potentially Shigaraki. Who knows if Toga will make it back? Who knows if Deku will be able to make it back as well? But things are heating up here as another chapter brings a ton of moments and reveals. I can't even begin to think what reveal we're going to get for next chapter, bro. Maybe Toga is a long-lost sister of fucking, I don't know, Eri, dude. Who knows, bro? Just keep giving me the fucking reveals, man. This arc is just gonna continue to bring. It's like a soap opera, dude. Things are just being piled on high, and to be real, you can make your own top 10 list of My Hero reveals, and 9 of them are gonna be from this arc alone, dude.